another moment on women and the society where we bring in women to talk to us about what they think the society should be, especially women, and telling them what they should do in different fields of endeavor. Today, we bring to you Mrs. Abibat Sanusi, who is a food processor, a farmer, a trainer, a coach, a mentor, and especially she trains women on how to be financially independent. Welcome to today's edition of Women and the Society. My name is Charity James. You're welcome on the program, ma.
Thank you.
You're looking sweet this moment.
Am I sweet? It's been a whole lot of hard work.
Yeah. From your CV, we can gather that you are a farmer.
Yes.
And you went to school to study that specifically because you studied food science and engineering. What took a lady to study such course?
For me, I love to be challenged as a woman because there are a whole lot of things militating against growth of women in our society. Like while growing up, I got challenged from different areas of being a woman. So at times when I see that, okay, there are women in this sector, we don't have women here, why don't we have women there? There are a whole lot of factors militating against that. So that's why, although initially I wanted to study medicine and surgery, because of all these, our parents growing up, they tell you have to study medicine, you have to study law, but I found that 50% of the food that is being produced in the world today are produced by women. So what is now the cause of all of these women? They're producing food, it's a business, it's a sector. But at the end of the day, if you check the pyramid, you see that we really don't have much people up that pyramid. Women, a lot of businesses don't survive along that pyramid line. What is the cause? That was why I went into that field that, okay, let me see how innovative I can be. Let me study, let me see the problem, the causes, so that we can create solutions for the women generation.
Initially, you wanted to go for medicine,
yes.
And you opted for food science and engineering. What is the engineering aspect of your course? What do you deal with in engineering?
The engineering part of food science is, food scientists learn and study the chemistry behind every food. For example, you want to mix protein, carbohydrates, in what proportion, at what temperature, at what period of time. But the engineering part of it is we design machines, equipment, and the relationship between the chemistry of this food and those machines and equipment. For example, you want to use an extruder to produce baby food, for example. So you say, okay, you have extruded the baby food. At what time? It is the extruder there is the machine. A mechanical engineer cannot know the chemistry of that food to be able to set that extruder temperature. Okay, I want to design an extruder that will run at this temperature period of time because of the chemistry of that, the nutrient of that food that will be beneficial to the baby. So that is the engineering part of the food science.
So you are a food scientist then?
Yes, I'm a food scientist.
So what does it take for a female who has interest in going into that course, food science and engineering? What does it take to obtain to get into the university? I mean, what minimum requirements does one need to go and study that course?
On the university that you want to go to, there are some universities that tell you, but you must have chemistry, biology. But the bottom line is you must have all the basic science subjects and courses before you say you want to go into the food science. But on the other hand, what I always encourage people in doing is, okay, you want to study food science. Is it that you want to go into that field to keep researching and so that you bring about innovations, or you want to go into it and adopt it as a business? Those are two different things. Being in the research world and want to go as a business. So as a business, that was what I did. After I graduated, I have gone for a series of trainings, business trainings. I went to FIRO, Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi, where I studied value addition, techno investment, how you can bring investors into that business as food science as a whole, to prevent post-harvest losses, because these are all the things that I see that militate against women businesses. When they harvest, there's nobody to get it from them, and before they get it to the buyer, the thing would have deteriorated. okay, how can we stop all of these things to help their businesses grow? That was why I went for that. So I got this training also from IFC, International Finance Corporation, as a business. That was where I got my MBA as a business entity, to be able to go to food science and engineering as a business that you'll be able to build to compete in the international society and world standards.
It's interesting listening to what you are saying. That means we need more female farmers in the food chain so that food can be available. We can know the food compositions, the right food to eat for our health and for our growth. Are you saying yes or no?
I'll say yes, because already 50% of the food that we eat, the entire population of the world, are produced by women. But the question that so many people are not answering, both the government and the private sector, is that when a certain set of people, women, produce 50% of the food that we eat, and when you check that pyramid, like I said earlier on, hardly will you find women businesses in this food industry there. So what is the cause? Why is it that along the line, you have a whole lot of businesses failed, owned by women? So these are the questions that the private sector and the government need to come together to help women, these women, grow all their businesses. That is why I have founded a whole lot of initiatives to help this, like the financial literacy, to help their businesses grow. Like go in, go look through your business. At what point are you? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? What are the problems? What are the issues that you have? If it is the technical know-how, we provide that. If it is to wade in with all the literacy, accounting people that know how to do it, we bring them in to help you so that the business will survive. So the real question is that pyramid, women businesses, why are they not going above that level on the pyramid? And from our research, I myself and my team, we did that research also. We found out that there are a whole lot of forces against women. Why those businesses are not going past that? Since we said, okay, according to FAO, Food Agri Organization, they say that 50% of the food that we eat are being produced by women. So what is happening? So from our own research, myself and my team, we discovered that there are some women, they have cultural differences. In some culture here in Nigeria, they believe that, in Anambra, for example, they believe that they cannot be richer than their husband. Whenever you give them opportunity to go to loans, to have a whole lot of funding opportunities, they tell you they can't be richer than their husbands. So they are the ones doing all this hard work. Some of them are not really educated to the extent that, okay, they go to field, they farm tomato, for example, and that is all they know. And again, you see that in the industry, they say, okay, we have a whole lot of arable lands used for farming. At the end of the day, you see Nigeria ending up importing gari, for example. It's so devastating. We import gari, we import tomato. What is happening? So in my own experience, I discovered that the agricultural sector, the farming sector, is not all about you have a plot of land at your backyard, you're doing farming, we have a whole lot of cassava everywhere, people are different. No, it's about yield, hectares of land by yield. All of these women cannot afford to go to hectares of land. They do a plot at their backyard, they do 2 plots, family land. So you do hectares of land. So per hectare, what is the yield? What is the tons of yield? So after you harvest, what are the processes that you put in place for your businesses? Maybe you had value addition, you convert your cassava to starch, you do fufu, you do lafu, you do gari. So it is that yield that will give us the food.
That means you must be educated before you go to.
Yes, the education is, technical know-how. It's not about being in classroom, learning the ABCD. The technical know-how of, okay, I'm going to field to farm. What does it take to be a cassava farmer? What does it take? For example, I am a rice farmer. I have 5 hectares of land where I do rice, and I do full mechanization, mechanized farming. At what point do I introduce my fertilizer? At what point do I introduce other nutrients? When do my tractors come in? When do I put in place all these things that to combat birds? Everything is mechanized. That is why I have gone all out to start mobilizing youth and women particularly. Right now, I have mobilized over 70 women to farm. In my cluster, I have about 20 of them now who have an hectare to themselves each. I mobilize them to farm, to cultivate the habit of cluster farming. Because if we are in a cluster, we know that we bear the risks together. We do, any time that we need maybe a professional, an expert, we invite them in, they see everything, they assess, so to minimize the loss.
Okay.
So I've been mobilizing youth and women to farm. It is highly interesting and encouraging. This is not business as usual for the farming sector. It is not like they used to do before. Now, so many things have changed in the global stage, and that's where we are going. That's why I'm urging women and youth out there to come on, because the next set of millionaires in this country are agri, they are farmers. So either you take it or you leave it.
One of the ways to encourage women is to make them financially literate.
Yes.
And then they must know everything about the farming aspect they want to go into. So how will you get a woman financially literate on farming or on food processing?
A whole lot of things involved in owning a business. You understand? So running a business is different from running something personal. So all of these women, we get their data, the statistics, we know their demographics, where they stay, so that we know their level of education to give us how we're going to approach them on all of those trainings. So for example, the last one that we did at Opeji local government, we gathered them, we told them what we want to do to them, we assessed their businesses at different levels. Some we know that, okay, at this point that this person is, it is packaging. This person, the person mixes the business account with personal accounts, so it is militating against the growth of that business. So we come in, we train them stage by stage, level by level, to know that you cannot mix a business account with your personal account. You have to pay yourself salary in your businesses. This packaging, who are your target market? How do you reach them? You cannot be selling tomato, for example, and go to a place or a region where you don't have people that take tomato.
That means planning is essential.
Exactly. We help them plan. We help them walk the journey. Okay, in your journey, this is how you, at what stage do you introduce this? What is your marketing strategy? How are you reaching these people? What is the persona of your customers? These are the things that we put in place. So this way, they attain financial prosperity. It helps them make informed decisions. Some of them even have staff issue. They don't know how to manage their staff. If they are not present at their business, at their offices, the business will not run. And that is not how it's supposed to be. A business is supposed to be a process where either you are available or not. The business is supposed to keep running. Like I'm here now, the whole lot of people I have there on farm, they are working. Everybody knows what they are supposed to do at every point in time. At the training field where we train, I have other trainers also that I've trained that are out there. If I have a job, okay, we have to go and train some set of people on farming, value addition, all of different things. So it's a process, and this is how we help them walk through this journey. For those that cannot even afford to, maybe you want to get an accountant, in my heart the business, we help them, educate them on all these accounting tools, social media tools.
To be their own accountant.
Exactly, to be their own accountant. There are some applications that when you input all your, okay, I sold, how much did you sell today? Okay, I sold 100,000, 50,000. If you input it, so person is owing me, you input it. I have some recoveries I still need to do out there. You input it, automatically the application gives you your balance sheet. It gives you a whole lot of things, questions that you need to answer, things that you need to get done. So these are the things that we expose them to. But the whole idea is just about, we need to get women up to the stage, up to the standard, to the global phase. They need to be out there because women are so, in fact, economically, we are the power of every economy. If you check any economy, you see that their women are doing very well in the business. You will see towards which they work towards prosperity in that economy. So
you know that there are a whole lot of people trying to advise people, and some advice are bad in some sense and some are good in some sense. And if you follow some advice, you might go to the wrong way, and you might fall into a pit that you can't stand up from it forever. In some cases, not in all cases. So how do someone design or know that this is a good mentor, this is a bad mentor?
Determining a good or bad mentor, it all depends on you. Only you know what you want. For example, the example I cited earlier on, the man I met at the ITC training, this man, I told you that he practically answered unknowingly all the questions that begged for answers in my mind. That's why I say, okay, this person can mentor me. So a mentor, people choose their mentor wrongly. They might say, oh, this person is so beautiful. You can say because the person is beautiful, that's why you're choosing him or her as your mentor. No. You have to be very objective when you're choosing your mentor or you want to become a mentee to someone. So, okay, for example, now I am a farmer, an international farmer. I export. So if I need a mentor on that stage, I go through to the field to see people that are into practical mechanized farming. And I'm very objective about it. It's not about the person's beauty. It's not about, oh, I just like this. It's not about my friend chooses this person.
I want to choose.
I want to choose too. And another thing about a mentorship is that the mentor has to know about you, has to know some level of information about you. Some people will tell you, okay, for example, let me cite this woman's name, Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika. Some people say Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika is my mentor. Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika does not even know you. So that in that case, you can say Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika is your role model. Role models, your model can be somebody you are watching. And as that person is doing, you are also doing. That's a role model. But mentor, the mentor has to know the mentee. You can't just wake up and say, oh, Barack Obama is my mentor. No, you can say Barack Obama is my role model. Barack Obama cannot be your mentor if he doesn't know you. Because it's like I'm training you, I'm a class teacher. I have to know my students.
Yeah.
So that is mentorship and mentee relationship.
But the way you are talking like a mentor. But to me, we have a lot of people calling themselves mentor. And when you mentor, you try to gather some people, talk to them, and then try to help them all through life. So my question now is, what is the difference between being a mentor, a coach, motivational speaker, or a trainer?
Okay, let me cite this example. When I went for my training at ITC SME Academy, International Trade Center, so I met a man there. The man is from India. So I found out that there are a whole lot of questions on my mind begging for answers, which I saw in this man. So right now, that as I'm speaking to you, he has become to be my mentor. And except for that thing that we met, we have not met from then. So we only speak online. When I have some questions in line of my job, I ask him and we talk. So training is you're training in class, on field. You're guiding people through that process. That is training. You are guiding them through. You only guide, you give instructions. This is how to do it, this is how to go about it. You can do this, you can do that. Then for a mentor, for training, you will have to see the person that is talking to you.
Physically.
Yes, it might not be physical. Right now that we have a lot of virtual stages around, so it might not really be physical. But before, training used to be physical. You get it. So, but mentor and mentee, you might not have met your mentor before. You are a whole lot of mentors online. When you search for example, you're a journalist. You want world standard journalists. You can browse them online. You meet them, you talk, you start asking them questions. How did you achieve so much? And they start guiding you through that profession. That person is a mentor. But a coach will coach on the job. For example, you want to handle a camera. You bring an intern, somebody that wants to learn to you. You show that person how to do it. That is coaching.
Okay.
You show the person, okay, you press this button, you go through the back, you are coaching on the job. Coaching is more of on field. I want to teach somebody, okay, how to go about mechanized farming. We go to farm. Okay, this is an hectare of land. This is how we do the bonding for the field. This is how we channel the water.
Coaching is
practical on the job. So that is coaching. That's different. But a whole lot of people mix it together. It might be misconception. It might be the way they present it.
Motivational speaking.
Yeah, motivational speaking. A trainer can be a motivational speaker. A coach can be a motivational speaker. Motivational speaker is about encouraging people. Let them realize the potential. Help them, awaken them to their environment. What is happening? Let them know that these are the things that are obtainable in this environment that you are in. These are the things that you can do. Help you discover the burning desire in you. That's what motivational speaking do. So for example, if I do that to you, I can also call myself a motivational speaker.
Teaching youth in public speaking is another thing we are doing in the society.
Yeah.
How rewarding is it? And how are youth coming out to engage in their intellectual capability? Do they feel the need for them to come and brush up themselves?
When we talk of public speaking in Nigeria, it is if you're talking about countries like the United States, Canada, and some others, they already know the impact and they know what public speaking does to youth, children. They have different categories of it. So when I founded the tree is a public speaking competition for youth between the ages of 18 and 45. We discovered that many of our youths, they have the energy, they are ready, they are willing to know, but they don't have the information, they are not equipped to engage themselves, to make informed decisions for themselves in the society. When you have somebody, I don't like this man, why? They'll tell you, I just don't like. But if you want to say, okay, I don't like this man, you need to be informed about this person before you decide that you don't like this person. Do you understand me? So the public speaking competition is about bringing youth together. Let them know, let them be conscious of the environment. They make research and okay, these are the things that are happening around me. Come and talk about it. Let us know our way forward. It's about involving them in policy making. It is only the youth that can say what they are going through. They are the only set of people that can talk about the things that they want for themselves. So before you can talk about this thing, you need to be informed. You need to be equipped. You need to be engaged and be involved in all through the processes. So when you come together, you debate, you talk about issues that concerns you, and leaders will listen to us. They'll know that okay, this policy that you are making involves us. For example, there was this law that was just talked about at National Assembly. They were talking about women and procurement in exports. So I was part of that conference. Women and procurement, the things that affects women in procurement. For example, now you want to bid for a contract, a public contract. When you look at percentage of those that get that contract, you see they are men. But why can't we get women at this stage? So going deep inside it, that was when we discovered all of these things. They need to build up their profile. Speaking is a whole of tutorial on its own. All you know is just when you have your idea, be sure about your idea, be confident about it. I know this. Even if you don't have full information about that thing, you will get somebody that will correct you. That will say, oh, that thing you're talking about has been updated. So just know what you know, be sure about it, make enough researches, come on stage, let people have your idea. Nation building is not all about, it's not a one-man show. Everybody has to get out, everybody has to be involved. In the little way that you can, we all have to be involved.
Lastly, on this segment, Madam Abibat, I want you to talk to our women about being financially independent.
To the women out there listening to me, you start from your self-decision. You have to be, first and foremost, you have to be very ready to take up the mantle of leadership in your various businesses and organizations. No matter how small your business is, you can do it. Financially independent has to do with your mindset. If you have 50,000 naira, you can do a whole lot of things. It will just only take time and process. Before you know it, you're there. Businesses, big companies, I don't want to mention names, they started from a very small stage. So you can do it. Start from something very small and gradually you build, be passionate about it, and be consistent. Consistency is also another important factor for you out there listening to me. You have to be very consistent. If you're selling rice, stay on that rice. There are a whole lot of government intervention, private sector intervention, the commercial banks intervention. You can approach a lot of them. Be systematic in your approach, be strategic enough, and be very passionate about what you do. Before you know it, you're there.
Madam Abibat Sanusi has been talking to us about what she knows about food processing and engineering. She has been telling us what women should do in farming, especially women who want to take up the farming sector and put up a surprise to the men. When we come back from this little break, it will be time for Mrs. Abibat Sanusi to tell us some of our favorites, and we'll learn from that. We'll see you at the other side.
Audio Jungle.
We are glad to have you back. First of all, let's ask you, what is your favorite food?
I love rice and plantain, garnished with this stew that you have locust beans,
Okay.
you have fresh fish, you have pomo in it, then garnish it. Yeah,
Can you tell us your favorite color?
my favorite color is green, and that's why I love green. I love anything that has to do with nature, preventing nature.
You love English wear too?
I'm a typical African woman. I always love it African fabrics. I love African fabrics. I
So
love it.
your attires are purely African.
No, I have it mixed up. I'm a farmer. When we're on farm, I want to supervise with my farm boots. You have to look sporty. Do you understand, with your farm wears and all of that? But aside that, even my farm wear, right now I've been talking to my tailor to say, please, you have to give me a little bit touch of this African.
You're a party freak? Do you like going to parties?
If you see, I am not really a party freak, but I go to social gatherings to seal deals.
What type of game do you love? You know that as a farmer, you work a lot. You'll be on your feet every time when you're on the field. But what type of sport or game do you really like?
Unfortunately, the one I like most, I don't know how to play it, and that's lawn tennis. I love it so much. But I love watching football, and I love playing chess game. I can.
Right, on that note, we'll close today's program where Mrs. Abibat Sanusi has been talking to us about farming purely. She told us about coaching, she told us about training, she told us about being financially independent. Do not depend on anybody. You can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. On that note, we'll say goodbye from Women and the Society. When we come back next week, it will be time with another woman. Bye for now.